Hello and welcome to the stream. This is Music Midweek Madness, or whatever the fuck this is. I still haven't figured it out yet. I am James, also known as James S. in some circles. And I suppose I just want to do this as a weekly thing. I don't have any guests this time around. But I thought this could be more of a channel update and a chance to talk about a couple of things that have been going on this week. And it's been an interesting week, although a bit of a sad one, as we'll get into very shortly. So I guess I'll start with the channel update stuff, which is basically that, man, it's been tough lately. It's so funny, because I feel like the videos, the main backing tracks that I make have been harder and harder to make. They've taken longer and longer. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. Obviously, the main reason is the increase in production values, because now, unlike before, where I used to just make a backing track with basically a static image, right? And the chord progression in it. That's not the case now. I wanted to make the video a bit more interesting than that. I wanted the elements to be dynamic. So sort of having a chord progression on the screen that lights up with each chord that's played, as well as an in-time sign that shows when the next chord is about to be played. That came from a comment, actually, that said that can you put a beat grid onto it? And the answer is, well, not really. At least not with the way that I currently put the videos together. It's just not possible. But, because the way I do it is quite primitive. I don't have any cool software or anything like that. I basically, the chord, all the visual elements you see are basically done by hand, not by software. I mean, they are done in software, but I do them frame by frame, which makes them quite time consuming. So there's that issue. So that makes videos take longer. Also, there's the big one, which is the sort of edited video in the video, the picture in picture, which I actually think adds a lot. Especially in the face of the AI content coming out, I was worried that... Well, I feel like a lot of... This is a problem with a lot of the backing tracks in general. They have sort of not an artificial vibe. Some of them are really... No, they're all really good. Not all of them. I don't know, I just wanted to add a bit more humanity into it, a bit more performance, and that's why I want those sort of edited videos. Also, it looks slicker. It's kind of cool. It's a continuous sort of visual representation of the music with actual people involved. Not always, because obviously some of the shots aren't real drums, and it's like a mix of you. That's just for visual flair. I'd love to have real drums. That's sort of like a long-term goal, because I know some brilliant drummers. But for now, that's just not possible with the current tech and the time and what would be required to make that happen. But that's a long-term goal. I'd love to do the whole thing as live tracks that are rehearsed in advance and, a main did to a thing. That would be great. Another thing, so I wanted to get a backing track compilation 1 hour session out every month, and it's just not been possible to keep up with that either, for a bunch of other reasons. One of the big ones is copyright claims. So it takes maybe a couple of days, with the making of the track and the putting the video together, to get a main backing track upload done. And so when I get a copyright strike, not copyright strike, sorry, a copyright claim on that video, all that work sort of is for nothing because I can't use it in the compilation. Because then I might get a strike. And then it will be a copyright issue. It really will. Also, like, in terms of the dream of keeping things alive, obviously all the watch time comes from the 1 hour sessions and all the views, being honest. Not all the views, but most of the views. So that's that. And it is a massive pain in the ass. What blew my mind was like what happened with the last one. Because I thought a good way to vet the videos that go into the compilations was having that sort of buffer of having them going up as sort of individual videos first. I thought if it got through that, then it will have no issue with going into the main compilation. However, it turns out I was wrong about that, because something that went completely fine, only became a problem when it was in the 1 hour backing track session, and that really pissed me off because it made no sense at all. Oh, there's so much about about the system that doesn't make sense. Like, you see some crazy stuff on other channels. Luckily, I've not had some of the bizarro stuff that literally makes zero sense happen. Like, I can see how it might make sense. At least I have that. For what that's worth, which isn't very much. Another thing is I want to do shorts of solos for each backing track that I make. But that's also tough to do because ideally, like, you could just... It's more just like a practical thing. They're really awkward to do because of the aspect ratio mainly. It's a pain in the arse. Also, if you're not uploading from a phone, it has to be sort of registered as a short. Maybe its aspect ratio is enough, but my understanding, it has to be exactly less than 1 minute. Aspect ratio has to be right, and which, it makes sense because most people watch shorts on their phones, and a lot of people watch just watch YouTube on their phones. I don't do it very often. But I guess the short thing absolutely makes sense. And I guess maybe I should just chill out. But I tell you what, guitar is an awkward thing to film with 69. The other way around. Because, like, a guitar is long and not tall. So I honestly, when I was fucking around, like, with the solos, trying to make them fit, I thought, well, maybe I won't. I tried, like, just turning the camera and going into the frame, and one of the ways I got around it was, like, holding the guitar up like this, but it's so awkward to play like that. Maybe I just need to get good. That's probably what I need to do. I probably just need to get better. No, because I can play so much better like this. Some people online doing these solos do play like this, but man, like, learning to just play like that all the time on your lap is awkward. I'm not a celloist. I'm a guitarist. And also, like, it's a bit humorous. Like, I feel whenever you make a short, you're putting yourself out there with all the other shorts. And there's, like, so many better guitar players out there. And, like, well, is this going to appeal to anyone? Like, I'm really just doing it for the backing track, rather than the solo. Because I'm not the best solo player. I mean, I'm decent, but I'm not compared to the stuff you see on the internet now, and you see in shorts all the time. So there's that aspect of it. It feels a bit pointless. But I guess with these things, you should just go for it, you know. Hang on. Fuck's sake. Yeah, it's tricky. It's so competitive, that stuff. Like the shorts, especially. I don't really care that much about getting a lot of. Yeah, like I'm not doing it to be competitive. I'm doing it to sort of promote the backing tracks, I suppose. Hello, Cookie Bear. Not too bad. I'm sort of getting through this gradually. Um, so I think I should talk about why am I doing these streams in the first place, because I feel like that's sort of the main point today. Obviously, last week was a bit of a shit show. Just got some random people in to just chat. And that was sort of... I'm still figuring this stuff out. Like, I have this idea in my head that I want to do a weekly stream as sort of like a hangout, community building sort of exercise. And to... like the... sort of, there's the tech aspect of it, trying to figure that out. Like getting people into the Discord. And like, so last week was sort of a test of having people in the call. It was... the levels were off. Everything was all over the place. But like last time, the time before that, things were even more chaotic. Things were even more all over the place. I tried to just switch to having a browser up to show something on the screen, and that fucking broke. So it's like learning OBS, learning all the software, and it's partly because, and this is being completely honest, like I suck at this. At just talking and filling the air and engaging, and I just want to improve. And I thought doing a weekly stream is a great way to do that. It's a great way to interact with the audience. Like, I don't see other backing track sort of centre channels doing that. And I thought it could be quite fun to sort of have a community-based thing. We could do streams involving more sort of educational sort of thing. That's very vague. But I mean, with actual guitar playing, I can show licks or whatever. I don't know. Just play to the backing tracks. I thought it would be quite funny to have a call-in where just anyone could just call in, ask questions. And some of them will be serious and maybe some will be trolls. And I think that would be quite funny as well. I guess it would be a mutually beneficial experience. I get... And I was really thinking about whether I should continue to try and do a weekly stream, just to push myself to do it and to work on that. And it's difficult. It's difficult. It is hard. Just talking to the void, you know. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I've seen how it changes other content creators, right? Who make this kind of content or who stream regularly. Like, they become so much more fluid and much better at just talking to a void, filling the space. You know? Thank you very much, Cookie Bear. And thank you for your patience. That's my hope. Maybe I should keep going with it. I think it's going to take time. You know, it's easy to get doomerish. Like, I watch it back and I'm like, fuck's sake. Maybe I should just stop. Just on the couple that I've done. But I honestly do believe in, like, self-improvement and getting better at these sort of things. The weird thing is, like, I've seen it in myself before, because I'm quite good at fronting, like, in a band context. Like, I had a really good mentor. Like, I used to do a lot of open mics every week. More than every week. I used to do it, like, several times a week. That's when I was, like, a teenager, which made it a lot easier. That didn't make it a lot easier. It was fucking brutal in the beginning. And I got quite good at that. But it's in the sense of like, I would just switch into like a persona almost. Like where you have to be loud, you have to be... I think the way that he put it when he told me is you have to be yourself at like 3 o'clock in the morning with your mates after a few drinks. Like just like that. But it's very different doing that in front of an audience because you've got the adrenaline, you know? Like, I mean like a live gig audience compared to doing it just sitting in your room talking into your own microphone. And then I tried to take pressure off myself a little bit by I thought, fuck it. I'll just do it. I'll get some friends in to talk. That'll take the stress out of it a little bit. And it definitely did, but it was just too casual. I feel like I don't want to go on too long. I have some stuff planned. Like some stories to talk about. Like John Mayle, of course. Oh, might as well. Actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this one story. For tech reasons, more than anything. Just to show that it's actually working now. Here we go. And this is quite a funny story. Okay. Look at this guitar. So this is what drew me in. It was just the image of this guitar. I obviously didn't know how many strings it was looking at this picture. And then I saw the headline. We should order one of these and I'll play it. It'll be hilarious. Then it went viral. I hate playing that bass. Now I have to play it every night. Elwood Francis on playing a 17-string bass. And it's become a ZZ Top staple. And like, I'm not going to read this whole thing out, but it's quite funny. Like it's like a funny stunt, right? Which isn't new for ZZ Top. I mean, you basically just read the article. But what made me laugh the most about this is this bit. I did it to myself. Elwood laughs. I hate playing that fucking bass. I found it late at night while surfing on one of those Chinese websites. I couldn't believe they were making something like that. I found this guitar, took a screenshot, sent it to Billy saying we should order one of these. I'll play it, it'll be hilarious. Yeah. And then him playing it went viral. And now they're like insisting that he has to play it at every gig. And he's like, he fucking hates it now. Like, if you read all of this, he cringes. I don't know. I was on a break at work and I just found that funny. Oh, why the bass behind me has only 3 strings? Oh, that's a terrible story. It's actually not that terrible. Because of stinginess. It's in, like, all the videos now as well. That's the funny thing. And I literally just record with it. It's because one of the strings broke, right? Ages ago. I was recording with it before, but it never obviously appeared on video, so it didn't really matter. And it's not the kind of guitar where you need all the strings. Maybe the intonation and action will be a bit out. But I was going to replace the strings, and I saw the price of bass strings. And that's what put me off. Yeah, I'm not well off, let's say. Well, I mean, if it works. That's sort of like my philosophy in a way. Like, I do like to spend some money on gear. But I have to be very selective about what I buy, what I spend my money on. And if it works. I mean, it's like £30 here for a set of bass strings. I did try to just buy I don't like doing that though, just replacing the one string, because then you've got like a really mismatched sound. I'm mostly, because of the way that I play bass generally, for the backing tracks has been a bit shit. I kind of want to work on that. Like I play that bass like I play a guitar, or like many guitarists play bass, which is sort of to just stick around the root notes. It doesn't help not having that string, because if you have that string, then you have more options in terms of the way that you play. That can be more. You can almost bring more guitar-like lead playing into bass lines. You know, a bit more. Make it a bit more melodic instead of just playing root notes. Yeah. I should. The thing is, it's not a priority if it works. You know, there's a lot more important things that I want to spend money on. I'll have to have a look. Actually, I think I Am Bass Player bought some like in the band that I'm in. He bought like these golden rainbow strings off AliExpress, or now he's buying stuff off Temu. I'll have to have a look. That would definitely help. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. The thing is, I've fallen into this horrible habit of just buying everything on Amazon, which isn't good, because they've been slowly, like, that used to be okay, because Amazon actually used to be cheaper than other places, and then you've got the Prime delivery, which is really convenient, but they're slowly changing. So yeah, there is that. Sorry, I've lost where I was. Oh, I was talking about the bass story. You're right. Yeah, went on that tangent. I'm trying to improve my bass playing generally. Like, it's in this latest track that I'm working on. That's another thing that I didn't talk about. With one of the reasons that backing tracks are taking longer, they're just taking longer to write. Like, it was easy in like the first run of backing tracks, making that first like 1 hour compilation, although I didn't plan to do that. Because like the more you make, the more stuff, the more creative you have to be with the next one, in a way, because you don't want to copy yourself too much. And constantly generating like 2 new songs a week, like, it's a great exercise. It is a great exercise for like writing, but you become more self-limiting in what you're doing. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one, because like you could just straight up say, "Oh, maybe you're running out of ideas," and I genuinely felt like that like 3 months ago, and then I had a run of just stuff coming out. Like, I feel like you can do so much with music that you can just easily, not easily, but you can just keep new ideas coming. Like, you're not gonna run out. You can't really, and you can sort of recycle ideas a little bit, because like you've got the chord progressions, you've got tempo, you've got. I mean, you can copy the chord progression and the tempo from another track completely, and also have it sound completely different based on the sort of, by varying up the instrumentation and the way that you produce it. So I think that's not the issue, but you do become more self-limiting over time, because you're mostly aware of things that you've made before, and then you want to keep making things that are sort of new and relatively fresh. And then you just fall back on no. So here's the thing. I could say, you like, the lazy thing to fall back on is to do the blues ones. But I find even the blues ones are getting harder, because I like to put like a unique twist on the blues ones that I have put out. Like, I don't want to just use really obvious basic blues, because there's like a fucking million of those tracks already. I do want to sort of give my backing tracks a bit of a twist. And one of the ways that I've done that, in which you'll notice mine differ somewhat from a lot of the other sort of much bigger backing track channels, is they tend to just use the 2-minute loop, which is actually fine, like if you're just practicing to it. And sometimes I wonder if having like different sections, especially like with the chord progression, might actually be worse for people who are just trying to practice. Like they don't want it to go off in all these different directions. Not that mine do, but that's something I've been thinking about doing, is having more. I might be changing the format, because and this is just YouTubey stuff. Basically, the individual backing tracks don't do very well, apart from the occasional one that inexplicably does well. And of course, it'll be like one of the more low effort and ones that you wouldn't expect it to be. Of course. And so what I've been thinking is, but the 1 hour long practice sessions do well. So I've been sort of building the individual backing tracks around the 1 hour sessions, like deliberately designed to go into one. And like over a month, I'll try to plan each video so that there's like more variety, or it's more interesting to go through that. Do you know what? It's so funny you say about specifically the 50s rock and roll one, because that's one that I haven't really done yet that I want to do. Like with a shuffle lick. That's always sort of been on my to-do list, but I've never quite got around to it. Yeah, I think it'd be quite a straightforward one to do, but I want to put something of a twist on it, because there's a lot of those out already. Here's another thing I've noticed. I do wonder if I put too much time into making, because they're roughly 7.5 minutes long each backing track, and I like to have a sort of progression throughout the track, like either dynamically or like layering of elements and things like that. So it's not a 2-minute loop. But the funny thing is, the average view time on all of those videos is about 2 minutes. So there might be wisdom in the more experienced producers. There almost definitely is. That's probably why they have loops that are based on that long. That is interesting. I guess I'm relatively new to this game. I'm about 7 months in, sort of 7 months of doing it seriously, and it's been a good 7 months. It's been going well. I'm looking forward to New Year to look back on the past year. Actually, my goal for the year was to reach that threshold of 1,000 subscribers where you can monetize. And I thought I would just go for it. I'll do the 2 videos a week, and then, well, the monthly thing, the 1 hour thing didn't exist at that time. So I've achieved my goal, but I just need to carry on. And I think I need to try to innovate a bit more, like with how I do the sessions. I might make them a bit more. I'm probably going to make them. I don't know how to put it. They're not going to be instruction. No, that's not it. So like the 1 hour practice session is just a compilation of backing tracks. I thought about maybe designing not quite 1 hour videos, but maybe like shorter sessions, like half an hour, with the specific goal of being like a half hour, almost like workout of different, like designed to work different keys or work on a specific skill set, or to just be varied. But the problem with that is it's going to obviously, if you're just making those kind of videos, like half an hour long videos, then you're not going to be uploading nearly as often, and that really can hurt you in the algorithm. Oh god, the bloody holy algorithm. That's also, I think I'd enjoy doing that more, honestly, in some ways. I think I'll have to try it. I'll have to give it a go. You know, I think it's refreshing to change up the format occasionally. To be honest, I think that's about it. I don't think I have much more to talk about. That's the. Oh, I do have one more thing that I didn't prepare. If you'll bear with me a second. So, here's another thing that... Oh, hang on. Fuck's sake.
Just seen the ultimate dog flex. Use the Google app for iPhone, search with your camera.
So, I would... We're just going to do it. Okay. So, I would like to have a segment in here where people can submit their own playing, like to the tracks, and we can have a look at those. And again, it's that community aspect of it. So let's watch this one. By Rock1LD. Bear with me a sec. Nice harmonics. I love the development. So I don't want to talk over it, so I'm just going to save it for the end, even though I'm doing it right now. It's definitely progressed. Like, it's like there was some uncertainty in the beginning. And now he's just finding his mark, like wherever he goes. He's locked in with the music. You can tell, like he's got some like really well-rehearsed technique and runs and stuff. But he's also not like just relying on that. He's really trying to improvise and just experimenting somewhat. Trying ideas, trying to build on those ideas, and being sort of dynamic about it. Which is I find that way more interesting than just like learning sweeping. And that is tone.
And we're back in third quarter planning. Adam
there you go, some ads.
Quarterbacking this project, and she is.
But that's my opinion, and it's all subjective. You know? Very great. I can't play like that. Fuck's sake. I'm more like The meme of David Gilt. No, I'm not at all. I'm all over the fucking place. Sometimes I play well, really well. Like, I'm an ear player, so, and I'm a bit stubborn. Like, I'm too lazy now to learn sweeping. I'm too lazy to learn those really cool runs. I sort of try occasionally to incorporate tapping, but to learn to tap properly, like when you're improvising, like, you need to learn the scales all the way up the neck. You need to learn different positions, and maybe I'm just past it now, or I don't care enough. Well, I think that's about all I have to show this week. I got through it. I guess this has been another weekly stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for your patience. I promise these will get better as time goes on. I'm sure things will become more developed. Things will become more slick. Things will become more organised. I think next week we're going to have a couple of guests along, which will make it a bit less like talking to a wall in the bedroom. So there's that. I'll also try to. Yeah, I've got some stuff planned for guests, so that I didn't obviously use today. So we'll have that next week. In terms of the community building side of it, that'll help with that as well. Like, I kind of want to make anyone who's in the Discord can just join the stream randomly. Like, I sort of think, oh, I should probably vet guests, but I think it would be quite funny to just be able to have random people join, and it could just be a really wholesome thing. And so I wanted sort of and also it could be quite entertaining. It could be chaotic. So yeah, I'm still figuring stuff out. I still don't know what I want this to be. But thank you for joining me. If you could say what you liked, say what you didn't like, maybe in the comments. I'm going to leave the stream up for a bit, and then if I watch it tomorrow and I hate it, I'm going to unlist it, and then you'll have to catch the next one live. So I have been James. Hope you enjoy the next backing track when it comes out. I thought about showing that, or a sneak preview, but it's not ready enough yet. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Where is it?